My name is Rhapsody, and welcome back to Vault of the Void. We're gonna be jumping into an impossible run here with the hidden. We did bleed last time, right? No, we did bleed last time. So it's time for a bleed run. We'll be able to play with the blade toys later on. I mean, it's entirely possible we end up branching out in this run to some blades. I mean, look. If we're gonna get Juggle, a quickness, and trigger phase here, rage 25%, gain a volatile hidden blade, affected by combo. So this is affected by combo, but it's not balanced. So for that reason, it's only going to generate as many, well, I mean, as many points of combo as I have plus one volatile hidden blades. So I would need to have the ability to get my combo back afterwards. Interesting. Or, alternatively, I don't care about how many times individual hidden blades hit. I care about just having them hit. So that would be for, you know, swift cards played. That kind of thing. Okay. I mean, hey, this sure says all swift attack cards played will also apply bleed too. Does this, if you have combo, does this multiply? I don't recall. How many other sources of combo we're even going to be able to find, right? We're not going to be getting combo from our spell. That's a really unfortunate one for us there. A easy way to get a little bit of it in your blade version of the deck. Fine, I'm going to still just take this as a way to hybridize between two different builds. Because we already have some support for one of them. The first two cards played will trigger an additional time, so buffs are better. First card played each turn costs 2 less, means I can get very expensive buffs out, and I can also pivot to do that very late if I'd like. Void suffers weak and vulnerable, or 20% damage. Cool. Lose all cards in your backpack, gain an elite artifact. So that is effectively my mulligan here, right? That's what that says. That says you've got a pretty good strat in your backpack, but leaning into it is going to be a bit rough. Do you want to go back to doing a whole bleed build, Raps? And I say yes. Thank you. Discarded keys at the start of each fight. Lose 1 energy and choose a card from your deck to add to your hand. Let's have a look at the map rule. Oh, God. You see what I see in this map reward is Bide, Fresh Steel, discard hand, gain that many +2 volatile hidden blades, combo, gain volatile hidden blades, the vulnerability, more combo effect over here, juggle. Gosh. Okay, how much bleed support is there actually here, right? We got bleeded out, purge to bleed 2 enemies, purge to bleed 2 enemies. We got 2 copies of that. We got a For the Throat. We have 2 of those in the base deck. We're not going to be going for that. Scatter Shot here. 7 damage to all enemies, apply 6 bleed to all enemies. Not bad AoE damage. Not bad at all. Anemia for applying some weak as well. The Hidden Blades build is way better. Literally, like the build that just runs bleed cards, skills, Dueling Buckler, something extra, Bide, Fresh Steel, Thieves Codes, Apprentice. Actually, you know what? These might be... not Thieves Code. I don't need that one. It's not bad, though. These might all be on mutually exclusive... Oh, no, they aren't. So we miss out on Dueling Buckler. That's fine, actually. We miss out on Fresh Steel. It's a little bit bad. Juggle, something extra. We are coming back down. Oh my God, we can get all of these. The natural pathing here is this. This one. That's just the kind of like value high path right there. It's worth noting we have no blank spaces on that entire path, so we have no chances of discovering the secret room. In fact, okay. Here's a couple things. I need to eventually work this out, and that is there always a secret room? Because if there is, I need to start thinking about that in terms of my pathing. That is to say, if there is always a secret room, and I know it's adjacent to a blank room, it has to be on this map adjacent to here, here, or here. So if I made a path that went through all of those, I could guarantee myself a secret room, and the secret room chests are ridiculous. They give you a rare card, they give you often a decent amount of upgrade points for your deck. I would happily try and path around the versatility of those kinds of things. The only problem is, I don't know if there's always a secret room. So if I do that, and there isn't a secret room, I kind of just scuffed the whole run. So I'm not going to do that right now. I'll probably try that off camera. But I do need to figure that out. That's definitely like a big next step for me. I don't really want to put that in any of these. I don't intend to multiplay that many of these. Ooh, a quick bar of the potions over on the side. Every single time I launch this game back up, I'm like, oh, a fun new feature. Hey, it's a really good usability feature. Those being shown over there, the void stones being shown on the top bar, so I don't have to go into the menu to check for them. It's just like, it's cool. I really like it. It's like every morning is Christmas, you know? Let's run in. Nothing else to really do here. Okay, put a card in our hands. We can kill the Dark Acolyte on turn 1 if I want to. Let's do it. 1, 2. You die this turn, then I'm actually gonna lead you. Purge that. Kill you. And then I'm gonna start on the next target over as well. No! Heals! Heals! That's illegal! No! What? Why? Don't tell me you want them alive! Why don't you kill them and get the Void Stone power out of them, huh? They look like weenies. Alright. What do you got for us? 2 upgrade points. That is not bad. That's another For the Throat. I mean, For the Throat being our only Swift card in the deck actually might be a build. Just for stacking ridiculous bleed quite quickly. There's also this Light It Up, which is a Swift attack that says Overcharge 1. So there is the theoretical possibility I give that the Overcharge itself, and then this becomes a Swift... this becomes an attack that says... gain Overcharge equal to 2 times your combo plus 1. That's pretty good, right? Is that good? How good is Overcharge for us? That's pretty good. Yeah, let's do it. I kind of just want to upgrade both of these For the Throats, but I know that's not really ultimately going to be the play we're going to want a roll with here. That From Shadow is almost certainly staying that way. You know what? Let's go Light It Up and From Shadow here. 2 cards that I know I'm almost certainly going to be keeping for quite some time. Drop a Drawblade. If you have Overcharge, deal another 8 damage. Is there like an... Is there like a Overcharge subtyping here that I can draft into? Because we are going into the Power Strike already. Unfortunately, no. We'll see if we get any more support for that in Treasures or Merchants or some such. But for the moment... Hellmongrel, Forsaken Puppy, and the Cinderhound. I mean... Yeah, Light It Up for 2 Overcharge on turn 1 isn't actually that bad. Let's give you the greatest hits we can. Perfect. 1 target down. I should probably keep a parry for the 2nd turn. I can't rely on drawing 1. Or rather, specifically, I can't rely on drawing 3. Which is what I'd need for the full defense unless I drew From Shadow, which we did. Yay. Should still keep 1 on hand, though. Okay. So you give us 4 damage whenever you're the target of attack card, so I can go 1 attack, double defend. I'm gonna double purge here, getting back to 5 energy for the next turn. Good. 1, 2, and then defend, 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 and then you die at the end of the next turn. I will have to defend 9 next turn, or attack once. So either I draw a handful that defends and it's fine, or I draw a hand with a single attack and it's fine. So I may actually end up... Hang on. Let's look at this card for a second. Where are you? In the backpack. 1 energy, 24 damage. It's a heavy attack. I think I can probably at least throw that in for a little bit, regardless of whether or not I use it forever. If it wasn't for the fact that I need to go impact on turn 1, I'd pull out the From Shadow just to have it in hand. Okay. If the target is planning an attack action, they suffer 5 bleed and 1 weak instead. We may use that to try and just definitely kill the Jinx Leprechaun on turn 1. It is worth noting, the red caps are the real bad part here. But I have to get the Jinx Leprechaun down first, otherwise I just die to the stacked debuffs it gives us. Okay. Refuge, you gain evasive and 2 AP. But all creatures on the board next turn are going to be evasive, so I'll be able to ignore that. Okay. I'm going to hold on to the power just so I have the ability to use it on one of them that may be attacking this turn to try and prevent some incoming damage. Find that opportunity immediately. Okay, give me the From Shadow or Blood Boy or whatever it's called. No, not those. That's none of the things I just asked for. There we go, From Shadow. It'll be in our next hand. We'll be fine. From Shadow. These are 8s. Yeah, so double purge and kill. Bleed it out. Purges to apply 2 bleed to all enemies. No, I'm going for the Power Strike. Not only am I going for the Power Strike, but I have another purple Void Stone at the moment, so it only seems, in my mind, to make sense to put it on something. When do you get the overcharge? You'd assume it's at the end, right? Yeah. So that won't be able to trigger its own conditional over putting an overcharged gem into it. What else would I put it into, though? Let's take another Draw Blood out for a For the Throat. I think that's kind of more our playstyle. We need to find more defensive cards to actually support that playstyle, but I still think that's probably where we go with it at the moment. I just really don't want to just throw it into a parry is the big thing. From Shadow is fine. It can sit in From Shadow without a problem. That's going to be a real difference maker, that bide right there. It's another upgrade point. Hidden Blade is a really good way of utilizing damage or utilizing combo to make damage, but it's not great at using other effects because it has the inert keyword. So the Void Stone only triggers on the first play of it. So unless you are stacking quite high, your combo that doesn't necessarily become a great card. That said, is it better than the other two? Entirely possible. Yeah, it's possible. Take it and we'll see what we do with it later. I think it's also still worth putting in the deck at this point. Okay. Also, Void Power for a blue Void Stone upcoming. Love to see it. These Ghostly Piranhas are going to be, they're going to be a problem. So we're going to have to be a bit wary here. So I want to kill 2 on turn 1. How likely is that? It's not at all. But it actually might be possible. Hidden Blade goes there. Light It Up follows up. Hidden Blade finishes. Power Strike goes there. Draw Blood finishes. Leaving us with a From Shadow in hand and a single Ghostly Piranha left on the board. It does have a high amount of Frenzy on it though, so we do need to be relatively careful. As long as we draw the damage this turn, we're all good. And we do. Great. That actually may be my best Piranha fight recently. Good. very, very pleased with that. And I think that demonstrates the value. Ooh, yeah, it's bide 100% of the time there. I think that definitely goes to demonstrate the value of picking up early a heavy card and actually being able to utilize that in some way in your deck. Because I very, very commonly avoid doing that line, and I've been thinking about that a lot more recently. These Holy Beasts will get stronger every turn. Okay, so I just need to come out the gate swinging. I don't really have anything else here that I want to modify for the gate, swing, etc. Whenever you cast your spell, combo 1. Whenever you play an attack, increase the counter on this by 1. Whenever the counter reaches 12, trigger bleed on all creatures. Ruined Pommel's pretty good. Got a 3-turn cooldown. Okay, fine. I can handle that. I could put a Light It Up in my opening hand here. Get combo 1. Use it to get overcharge 4. Actually, I can get overcharge 8. Use the bide already. I don't want to use the bide already. I want to use the bide in order to amplify some bleed on a target. Hey, why don't I do that this turn then? This is the first turn of the fight. Yeah, okay. Found our play. Okay, so you get the bleed and weakness. Double purge those two. Bide, we get up to full combo. We use that for a bunch of bleed on you. I'm going to purge and hold a defensive card. We don't get overcharge, but now we actually have a way to win this fight, which we kind of were lacking a little bit before. Well, as much as I do want to light it up, I also don't care at all. Funny how that works sometimes. Don't love this one. Hold the defend here. Ow. That's my HP. How dare you? Hey, 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 hey! Where's my From Shadow? It's rude as hell. Alright, looks like we will take 20 lumps. Oh, gosh. Gonna need the ability to defend next turn, evidently. So 9, 8, 8, 25. That'll do it. Whew. Saved ourselves some extra damage right there. The blue void stone. I'm gonna put that on the For the Throat. The idea being that we can then use that to try and get back to the cards that enabled us to get enough combo to cast the For the Throat in the first place. Take the Light It Up in the opening hand here and go with a real normal one. One down. Okay, we do have overcharge, so the Power Strike is active. It's good to see. I'm not going to keep up vulnerability at all this turn. Defense next turn might be bide, hopefully. Thank heck that didn't draw bide, eh? Whew. Oh, that person was praying. Oh no, I've committed a war crime. They immediately purged the negative debuffs that I'd just given them. What for the kill and all. Rumble. There we go, we got one kill at the absolute least. Unfortunately, this one is now absolutely wild out of control. Ooh, that's a good bide right there. Popping a truly fierce amount of bleed on that target. Let's give him the old From Shadow Power Strike double. Okay. Glad that all worked out for us. In our discard build, there is the Thieves Code. You know what? That just allows us to be more careful with our cards. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'll put that in the deck. Surprise attack. Deal 8 damage. If the target isn't attacking, deal another 16. It costs 2, making it a little bit harder for us. Lacerations. Each time bleed triggers, it will increase by 2. And then there's Gutted as well. Puncture. Oh, that would be exactly the halfway point that we were looking for. This Lacerations doesn't look bad, though. Do it. Upgrades to become rigged and 1 cost. We may actually be able to, like, not do Hidden Blades. Like, we don't really have Hidden Blade support in the deck outside of literally the individual Hidden Blade that we have in here, right? Like, these bides can easily be for other Swift attacks. We can run this as a Swift and a Bleed build, and that was the intent. It felt like because I was pathing onto all these kinds of things that we're going to support my build, that I have to utilize that. But I don't necessarily have to. It's still the value high path. That Lacerations, that Gutted. I'm going to take Lacerations. And now I'm going to find a way to make it work. It does go into the deck. I'm also going to cut a parry out. And another parry. I'm going to go bleed it out, Lacerations, and cut another draw blood for Thieves Code. Giant change to the deck right there. Okay, Ghostly Piranhas. Is there any better way that I have to deal with Ghostly Piranhas? Not really, actually. Okay. Let's hide the panel for a second. So we've got 2 incoming attacks. We do have our ability ready. There's a Power Strike in hand, so ideally we would get the Lighted Up here. Okay. Target you with that. Then how much damage? I should actually figure out how much damage each of these things is individually going to be doing. So this is 6 damage by itself. It applies vulnerability of a stack 1, so the next hits for 9. So 6 and 9 gives us a total of 15 on an individual target. Throw in another 9, that rounds up. Does it round up? I always forget whether this game rounds up. It does, because 5 goes to 8. Okay, so 9 goes to 14. So that's a 15, 14, 29 by themselves, which means they still need an additional hit of something else in order to get a kill. Which means that the Power Strike itself is going to be 24 damage amplified to 30, 36. So Hidden Blade, Power Strike on a single target, and then the rest of them against a different target is our best utilization of damage here. So 1. Oh, wait, I have to. Ooh, okay, so that goes out, and then we use Lighted Up on you. And then Power Strike over there. Also gonna play Lacerations, and I'm almost certainly I'm going to regret that. I am almost certain I'm gonna regret that, and I'm gonna be very displeased with myself as a result of the action I just took. I'm not entirely certain why I did it in retrospect, so please forgive me for the results of it. Thank you. Yes, just get some bleed out there. Hey, isn't that card upgraded? Didn't? Hang on. Didn't I upgrade you? Wait. Hang on. Hang on. I'm almost certain I upgraded that card. Well, brains broke again. Ooh. At least we get a good kill in the meantime there. Let's keep you weak. All right. These are acceptable-ish losses we're making right now. Yep, nice work on that. Got our kill at least. Macerations really wants an upgrade. Like, very, very deeply if I intend to run it at all. I have the ability to actually rig another card as well. Thieves' Codes is rigged. Lacerations is rigged. Because I have the discarded keys, I have the ability to make pretty much anything else rigged as well. That's a weird one. I'll tell you what, I haven't got enough souls to actually really enjoy the place that I'm about to go to after this. Okay. What's my cooldown on? Cooldown's here, but I want to use it next turn. Okay, let's get some combo out of the deck then. Lacerations. Purge, Biden. Then purge this. Go for a throat. Okay. Okay, I think that's probably our best setup. We just need to get a lot of bleed on this target this turn. Because we still have 2 cards left in the deck to just say trigger the bleed on the target, and the intent is to get a lot of usage out of those. For that same reason, I'm actually going to go for the throat here instead of the lighted up power strike. And in fact, I'm even going to purge those 2 and then double defend. From Shadow is still left in the deck, which is a great target for us to hit. It's unfortunately an extremely awkward target for us to miss. I should have just purged the Hidden Blade. I shouldn't have played that. Yeah, it didn't really make much sense. Okay, we have 13 incoming next turn. I have the ease of blocking against 12. My guaranteed from Shadow. There we go. I've already taken damage in this fight, so I'm gonna just cop that so I can guarantee that I would have defense for this turn. Turns out we were all good. That's our kill. Soul Collector, Throwing Star. Whenever you play a card that costs you 2 or more energy, gain 1 combo. Come on, that's exactly what we need. Bide gives us a combo. Bleeded Out gives us a From Shadow gives us a combo. All the powers and buffs I'm gonna put in the deck gives us a combo. Start each fight with 4. I mean, look, start each fight with 4 overcharge is not bad. Looking Glass. Viewing your deck during battle will show the correct ordering of cards. Huh. I have a feeling I'm gonna be incapable of utilizing that one, so I guess I'll go with the jumper cables. Come on, cursed item. Oh, each time you play a card that has the same name of a card you've already played this turn, block 3, I'll take that. Happily. Okay, I got a health potion and crippling potion. I could probably throw a crippling potion in this fight and be pretty happy about it. Said we do have an elite later on, and that's almost certainly going to need to be thrown into that fight if that's the skeleton mage. If I want to live through that fight, and that fight is the skeleton mage, I don't get really too much of a choice. I just have to do that. There's lighted up in the opening hand. Okay, I'm gonna get the power strike and we'll do it. So I just let you attack for 7? I mean, I could prevent that. Get lacerations out there as well. Now my first goal is to get some amount of bleed on each of these targets. That's not going to do it. That's certainly a spicy meatball right there. I don't like that one. We finally got bleed on 2 different targets. Good hit on Bide. I'm gonna weaken you. Throw even more bleed out there. So we have 28 incoming damage. We have to be quite fortuitous with the straw. It's not as defensive as I really wanted it to be. Okay, I definitely have to prevent all the incoming damage from that target. I don't really get a choice there. So we take another 12. And then finally end the fight. We are a lot weaker than I want to be. How do you save yourself from being that weak? Because I suspect I know the answer and I'm not happy about it. Hand size is increased by 1 is very good. Now instead we go to the shrine. We double remove. We still have to take this fight. It's Bruce! Okay, so you're not even going to be vulnerable. Or only, what, you attack for 2 turns at the start, but you really ramp up later? I have to use the health potion. The crippling potion isn't really going to help me. This target is also very good against bleed specifically. You know what I mean? We don't actually really have a huge second build. Do we get the run right now? So let's just hope this works. Knave's Qatar. Each 4th non-balanced swift attack played is balanced. I mean, look, that's good for keeping up the for the throats and stuff like that early on. Okay. Most important thing to me right now is setup. Okay, so we get Bide. I'll play that, and then Bide. Okay, purge a couple cards. Get lacerations out there, and then For the Throat, and then I'm just effectively looking for the ideal follow-up card afterwards. Cool, and that is going to be Holding From Shadow for the next turn. Decent amount of bleed on the target. Okay, enemy hasn't tried to remove the bleed yet. Good. Very good. Extremely necessary. I kind of want to just throw it on 2 more times here as well. Yep. Take 1 damage there. Bathe in blood. Will reduce bleed by 50%. Then heals to current bleed value. Or heal equal to current bleed value, rather. It's okay. Still kind of have to double down on it if it's the only thing I could really do. Let's go. Not bad, not bad. We have the ability to backstab next turn. Okay, what do you increase your frenzy by 1 and then attack? That is not good. Actually, that one for us, that's gonna be a pass. That's gonna be a nah, actually. Okay, the bide thankfully is going to be enough block for that next turn. I'm very, very, very glad to actually have a large block in the deck, because the amount of times I've not had this and then just been so sad specifically about not having this. Oh. There we go. And that's our kill. Did we take 1 damage to Bruce that entire time? That's a really good Bruce fight. With a bleed deck specifically. I think I thought that was a lot worse than it was. Okay. So now if I really want to take it to the next level, we cut Draw Blood, Draw Blood, Draw Blood. We put something extra, Apprentice's Blade, and the Juggle into the deck. And then we also cut 1 parry and put a natural 20 into the deck. Okay, Guardian. Okay, okie dokie. Do I have... So I'm going to cut this For the Throat out of the deck because I don't want to draw any extra cards at all, because this enemy will very much punish me for drawing cards. In fact, I'm going to cut that Juggle as well for another parry. And then cut Thieves' Code as well for a parry. I'm trying to make modifications to my deck based on the enemies that I happen to know are upcoming. Something I don't necessarily do enough of. Something I would like to be doing a little bit more. Okay, let's try this. Something extra in the opening hand, I guess. Okay, we get Laceration out. We'll get something extra out. We'll throw a From Shadow onto the mainline target. I really want to leave that bite in hand, so I think I will. Good power strike right there. 19 incoming next turn, so we'll go with the double defend this turn. Okay. I mean, this will kill. Killing a target's pretty good here, at least. Okay. This is definitely the Bide turn. Bide light it up even. Or is it Bide For the Throat? 20 bleed, it has to be, right? But we'll at least get the extra bleed out there. Yeah, this damage sucks. This is not good. This is the kind of thing that kills the crab. Let's make you vulnerable. Urge For the Throat. Let's bleed you out 2 times over there. Getting a little bit of block at the absolute least. And then here comes the damage. Hey, we did get a bite, so we have a block. One sec. I'm pretty sure we can get this kill. Yep, I mean, we'd already taken damage in the fight. Whew, okay. Not a big fan of what just went down. But we made it through. And that's what we gotta focus on right now. Gain 2 upgrade points. That would be Like, those would be my pivoted cards, right? The Apprentice's Blade, cop one of those. The Juggle would probably cop another. Okay. Actually, something extra will cop it, I think. Arcane Overload, X damage equal to 6+4 for each ability played this turn. Mithril Blades. Each Blades will trigger +1 times. That's also not unlikely to just be on our max value path, right? Bop, 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 bop. And when I say it's not unlikely to be on our max value path, it is on our max value path, is what I mean. Ooh, this is not good. We can't get that, and the second elite. Rather, we can't get both elites and the Soul Collector. Puncture's on this map. That's one of the elites. Gutted is on this map. That'd be really good for us. Sanguine Shell is already on our path. From Shadow, Dueling Buckler, Mithril Blades would all be nice. Charge Block is the other elite. I'm not going to be able to take that one as well, though. But actually, I can get all of them. Literally, like, map it like that. Okay, I'm down. But I feel under-defended. Let's get the Juggle back in there. Cut a parry. Get the Thieves' Code back in there and cut another parry. Do I have a shrine on my path? Floor cleared. Proceed to next floor. That's not true. Power Strike. Bleed natural 20. Lacerations. Okay, so I think this means, like, this yellow Voidstone just goes into For the Throat. Then put another parry into the deck. Okay, we don't have a single shrine on our path. We can map one in if we go around here instead. The shrine for the double void removal would be real nice. That said, I am currently holding a green Voidstone, so if at any point I find the card thinning? It says thinning something. If at any point I find that card thinning out, I believe it is actually, I can just put that in my opening hand and then use it to burn both of the voids. So we do have Bide in the opening hand here. This would actually be a really good time to light it up. I'm gonna do it. So the reason it's a good turn for light it up is because we play Bide. We use our power. These Code and Lacerations actually may not even be super relevant here. Let's focus on what is. We purge that parry. We have the fourth non-balanced Swift attack. So this is balanced, so it doesn't spend our combo, which gives us the ability to spend our combo next turn instead on the For the Throat. Purge both of these and just play the damage card as well. I actually just want to go for the kill right now. Yeah, the Exalted Warrior, like, it will literally get no turn. Well, sorry, I say it literally gets no turn. It attacks me. It dies. It got a turn. I was previously holding the other card so that I would be able to defend on this turn, but preventing them from getting another attack out this turn is, I think, worthwhile. Fractal Feather, thank you for all of the excess healing you are providing me this turn, my lord. As much as I really want to cast Natural 20 right now, I need the 2 turns out of it. So this is going to self-destruct on the left-hand side, so if I can kill the Flesh Beast this turn, we have the win already. The only problem is actually killing the Flesh Beast. Perfect. Okay, not what I wanted yet. I do want to get out of here with a full defense if possible. I don't think I'm fine spending backstab to do that, though. There's the apprentice's hidden blade. So I guess my hope now is that I kill. I have the ability to kill. Oh well. Alright, we're gonna be suffering 5 damage here. Oh no! Right, we had the fractal feather! Thank you for the defense. And thank heck as well that we get to go to some empty spaces. This one unfortunately won't allow us to immediately lead back down. But I have to. I have to. I actually just wanted to go to empty spaces for the sake of the sneak artist. Okay. Grape Shot says deal 5 damage to a random enemy 6 times, upgrades to 8 times. Set up next Swift card is played. When a card is set up, it's returned to the top of your deck after being played. On Purge, it does that. Interesting. Don't think that's extremely relevant for us. Swift Hand's probably the most relevant here. I really want both these Full of Throats upgraded because they are so much of our damage. I also really want the Swift Hand upgraded. But I think I need the Full of Throats upgraded first. Let's cut a parry for the Swift Hands. I just missed out on the Sanguine Shell as well. Block 20, trigger or bleed. Ugh. It's a hard thing to miss out on, but I think that going there gave us a couple chances. I'm not actually going to really do any transformations here because we have a merchant in one space time that may be significantly more impactful. There's a charged block. Yeah. I mean, especially given the jumper cables, that just definitely seems the right choice to me. Let's pop that into the deck. Let's go get our puncture. Dolus! I can't actually, like, make my deck that much more expensive than it currently is. So it's going to be hard to capitalize on the enemy's AP, randomization, not AP, but randomization of our attacks. Every 6th block card you play will trigger an additional time. There's also the Eldritch Blessing and the Blade Belt. Blade Belt's more appealing due to the puncher I'm about to get. Band of Resilience, like, there's 2 good cards that can hit with that, the From Shadow and the Bide. Alright, I'm gonna put my trust in this Blade Belt. Okay. I'm also just gonna quickly... I was just errantly clicking on the screen a bunch of times there, and I immediately selected a card, so... Whoops. Just gonna quickly do exactly the same stuff we did previously. Select that Blade Belt. And not put the natural 20 into my opening hand necessarily. Yikes! Laceration and Thieves' Code both had high costs. Well, look, let's get something extra. All of them? Come on, that's just rude. Lacerations out there. Still think Thieves' Code probably needs to be played as well, so. This is past some of our worst cards. Can we... Everything is being increased in cost. Dramatically. It's, pretty rough stuff, actually. There you go. Now, please stop doing it, Dolus. Like... Oh, we've had 1 cost decrease, finally. It's happened. That means we're all A-okay. Let's give them a good old From Shadows. Maybe toss out an Apprentice's Blade while we're here. For the Throat as well at the end does seem to appeal. And it even gives us some more hidden blades to keep on keeping on. Except the hidden blades, right? I was lucky the hidden blades didn't necessarily have a high cost. That is definitely one. Come on, 5. That's my most expensive. What? All right. Let's play out that bide. Maybe even a swift hand. Juggle a little, looking for some better defensive cards. Not find them. Play 1. And then watch as the enemy dies. There's our puncture. I don't even have any more shops on my part, do I? You know, I don't, so... Hand size increased by 1 is, everything. It's all of the things, and they give it to you. I'll take a crippling potion as well. Could help on one of these upcoming fights. Hey, I mean, it could theoretically help on this one. Put the puncture into the deck, cutting another parry. We are now at a very, very, very small amount of defense in this deck. The light it up in the power strike is starting to feel like things I need to cut so that I can put defense back into it. Okay, if I give them the crippling potion, I'm safe for 2 turns at the start of the fight. Gives me some time to set up. I think I have to. Something extra into the opening hand. Thieves codes, purge that. Purge. Play something extra. Hold the From Shadow. Yeah, we're capable of holding things in the opening hand here because of the potion we played out. Let's discard the Void. We're always going to be doing that here. Okay. Don't even think we played the From Shadow this turn. I'm going to play Swift Hand. I'll put Apprentice's Blade out there as well. Get rid of From Shadow. A giant amount of bleed out there on a balanced attack, keeping our combo. And then throw out some good old damage points. Okay, that mainline target is now dead. A quick fix. All unholy creations, so those are not unholy creations. Cool. And we're pretty well set for the next turn. Love a good old charged block right there. Let's go for the throat again. Okay. Natural 20. Blaine, I guess another hidden blade. Lay that out too. Trying to get a... Thank you. Death on 1 target before the next turn. Deeply simplifying the actions I have to be able to account for. And with all these hidden blades, we confirm our next kill. Great. Puncture, Swift. We have so many cards that still want an upgrade now. Let's give Puncture its upgrade first, I think, there. Also, Gutted really wants to go into the deck now instead of a Bleed It Out. This one's going to be pretty hard. We're going to take something extra and we're going to try and do our setup on turn 1. But as you can see, despite having now set up, it looks like this is going to be a bad time. What we really need in this deck is some way to trigger bleed more commonly than we are. in particular, there's a card that is, I think, rare and swift and says, I think it's a swift attack and says trigger the target's bleed. That would be pretty much ideal. I'm gonna drop natural 20 right now. Go charged block into parry. Purge from shadow. I can play the swift hand afterwards. Yeah, I'll play juggle first. Okay, there's a bite actually. And I'm saving these for next turn. Yeah, puncture's there as well. Or rather, puncture was possibly going to be there. Guess that'll be the one on the outside. Cool. So we'll roll a bide. Throw a swift hand out there. Probably drop gutted. Then hidden blade into hidden blade. If I actually purge for the throat and then go for the apprentice's blades here, we end up full defending, also triggering the blade belt and getting more blades back. So you do your taunt this turn and then you die. That's perfect. Absolutely ideal, in fact. This build is in such a weird place. I really deeply don't like it. And I'll tell you exactly why. It's because I'm trying to both run a build where I play a bunch of small, inconsequential hidden blades in order to trigger effects like something extra. And because I've got something extra so far as basically all of my support for that build, I hybridized out of it, but I'm still keeping things in my build as though that's what I'm doing, right? So why don't I, if I have this build, cut the gutted and the bleed out and the something extra and this, like, why don't I cut those? Is it because what I'm actually doing is hybridizing so I have the ability to cut like 2 different types of enemies down, right? I have the ability to suddenly turn and burn for a bunch of damage, or I have the ability to slowly ramp up and build a bunch of damage? And if so, how do I translate that into the final fight against the Void? We're too late to really giantly pivot. I just don't yet know. Okay. I'll play charged block. Then I'll puncture. I'll use a natural 20 here. Throw out some hits. We end up with our full defense, and then I'll retarget. We're not going to be alive for too much longer. Should have done that before I threw out the blades, though. Okay. Definitely drop the Void. Hoping for a bit more defense than that. This means I should go for the kill, doesn't it? I think it should. Yep, that's exactly what it should mean, apparently. Okay. Swift card really wants an upgrade. Shadow, no. Buy 2 bleeds all enemies is, I mean, is a nice upgrade. On Soul Collector. Book of Arcane Secrets at the start of your turn, you'll gain an additional 1 energy. I mean, look, Having hand size +1 and an additional energy per turn is very good. It's also the best thing I can get there, so sure, I'll take it. Beast of Malice, you are going to actually pivot to damage. Capital D damage. You don't do it super early, so instead of the crippling potion, I'm going to take the draw potion here. My goal is just bleed the hell out of you as quickly as I can. Hemolytic Vial is great for what we're trying to do. Every 3 battle rounds, trigger the bleed of all enemies at the start of the turn. Okay. So ideally, we don't deal any damage to the enemy, but we bleed them. So how do we best do that? Swift attack console. This something extra means nothing to us right now. We shouldn't even play it in the opening turn. Just gonna get the bide. Let's play that out. Purge those two. Don't even have the ability to play my ability. Use codes for the throat. There's Puncture. Happy to lose that. Gutted. Less happy to lose that. Kind of hoping to gut it and bleed out really soon. From Shadow's really good here too. Next turn I have to defend a significant amount. I'm going to drop it though. Okay, Swift Hand is not necessary here. Okay, the enemy is going to try and attack, so we can backstab you easily. Charge block for 1 energy 10 defense. Use a From Shadow to complete the defense from that turn. Use an Apprentice's Blade, and then the For the Throat keeps its combo. In fact, I can even deal 15 damage this turn. Because you only get Frenzy if I deal more than 25. It's really hard not to be able to play Gutted right now, though. Unfortunately, I do need to draw as deep as I can into the deck, so I will drop the... No! You dazed me! Okay, well, drawing deep into the deck is not really going to be our forte right now. Yeah, we're about 1 turn out of sync with how this... Wait a second! Okay, so it actually was gaining Frenzy. Wait, right? Were you... That was the Hidden Blades go... That was the turn that I actually gave you the bleed. Okay, so it's only gained 1 turn of Frenzy from that. What? How's it on 6? It must have done it a turn prior as well. Well, whoopsie doopsie on my part. I don't think that was actually adding damage. There you go. Get another charge block at the absolute least. Definitely going to pop that into the build. Got a parry for it. Anything else? Not really at the moment. It's a shield wall further up there as well as a dueling buckle. I like the idea of each. Rage. I don't know if Rage actually does anything for us at all, ever, so. I guess I can happily throw Rage into Juggle. Alright, Pyramites in the pyre. Let's see what's gonna get done here. Okay, so the incoming damage this turn is low, thankfully. Swift hands. Unfortunately, while the while the damage is low, I'm pretty sure our ability to generate damage to the enemies is also well, how to politely put this? I don't have any. Not at the speed I'm going to need it. Like, I guess this is ideally utilized as a setup turn. Yikes. Yikes. Gonna need a chance block for the next turn at the absolute least. Alright, Swift Hand might be helpful here though. Let's go charged block first. Throw a Swift Hand out there. That's really not the card we wanted to draw. Juggle for... Okay. That is the cards we wanted to draw. Get a Apprentice's Blade out there. Drop a From Shadow and a For the Throat as well. That's good bleed though. Probably not going to be targeting that one, so we'll weaken you. And I'm using the puncture, so the For the Throat has to be cut. It's not going to be capable of being used. I feel a duty to try and kill the Pyre first. If we want to be quick about this, because we're not really going to be able to tamp down the burning consistently. We've got 2 voids upcoming, so, like... The next hand is going to be absolutely awful. A single bite in it? That'll die at the start of round 3. Well, actually, it'll die at the end of this round. Okay, 38 incoming. We're guaranteed to get bite at the absolute least. Okay. Drop the void, use the bide. I kind of want to just throw out For the Throat to cycle for a better card right now. I'm playing natural 20 first. Play that 2 times as well. Okay. Master Void. Charged Block I wouldn't be able to play. A Gutted I wouldn't be able to play. That's a Hidden Blade I could play, and then I'd be able to play 3 more cards this turn. It's actually really good. So now we have the kill on the left. And through attacking a couple more times there, we even got a kill on the right. Nice. Perfect victory. Natural 20 needs to be extended. It's needed to be extended for ages. We've ignored it for ages. It's finally been done. I would probably health potion for this fight, but I don't know if I would do anything else. I think I probably need to retain the rest of them for upcoming fights. So yeah, you're gonna deal 12 burning and 2 vulnerable. Wait, suffer 2 vulnerable. Okay, you're gonna get vulnerable. Any blockers? Captain a maximum of 6. Yeah, I forgot about that bit. That's a good bit. So our defense just has to be playing a bunch of blades. Just has to be. No real way around that. Okay. Maybe I just purge both of these and hold the Apprentice's Blade. Oh, okay, never mind. So I suffer 2 vulnerable. So the enemy deals 12 burning. But I get... Okay, got it. So deal is the keyword for damage. Well, it's not even damage, though. It's still a status... Okay, I'm just gonna move on. Is the bite over there? Bite's really good. We'll leave From Shadow in the hand at the end of the turn. Okay, so we charged block, bide, full defense. Then we Brandis' Blade. Purge for the throat. Pongja. And it's damage time. We hold it From Shadow for the defense next turn. It's doing okay, I guess? 38. Yeah, it's the problem that the giant damage, the giant numbers that we need to block, and oh, never mind, got it. Whew, thank heck we have that in the deck, eh? Dueling Buckler probably can replace a parry. If this deck ends up winning, I'm going to understand so little about how it did that I'm going to have to go away and think about it for a while and come back with a more resolute idea at the end of, oh, okay, so this succeeded for these reasons and this is how I'll replicate it. Okay. Something extra. I mean, we do want to bleed him. Yeah, I think we just go for the setups on the first turn again. Actually generated energy with that draw. So then I get to purge those two. Play all of those out. We have no combo, but we'll get combo next turn. Honestly, probably don't think I care about natural 20. I should have. I should have cared. No, because I'm going to be targeting a single target. No, so it's fine for me not to get... I'm swinging back around the other way now. I mean, if I play that for the throat at the end of the turn, then Dueling Buckler is no longer worthwhile. But I do want to keep the Dueling Buckler for the next turn. So we play Bide. Get our final combo from the Rune Tilt. Oh, never mind. I had another way of getting that combo there. We make the enemy vulnerable. We start chunking in the Damg. Actually going to purge the charge block. I think it's necessary I hold on to that there. I think by the time I want that, I might just have my own other charged block. And doing that on turn 2, or rather at the end of turn 2, is ideal, because then the hemolytic vial goes off at the start of turn 3 and kills. Or can kill, rather. It's not that it's guaranteed that it does. He is herping, though. Yeah, all of our tricks have gone past right now, so we need to just wait in the cycle until we get the tricks back. If we accept that the Hidden uses the nickname the Hids, then silly enemies, tricks is for Hids. Let's throw a From Shadow at it. I could try and hard, but actually I'm gonna play the charge block. And then I'm going to From Shadow and hard purge the rest of the hand, holding onto the Swift Blade. I do need faster deck cycle, but Swift Hand itself draws a card, so it's easy to justify it being part of our deck cycle. A little harder when I have no other sources of Hidden Blade in the hand. And then we Purge Gutted, play natural 20, and hold one more turn. And now it's time to go. I really don't want to drop Bide. But I have to. We got For the Throat, so I really shouldn't have dropped Bide, as it turns out. Alright. Charge block starts the turn off. We use a Swift Hand, gets his card. We puncture. Need some more. There's some hidden blades over on this side, reducing the incoming damage by the Fractal Feather every single time we play one of them. That card is almost, and now they are dead. Unfortunately, I don't have the ability to retarget anything against the main line. But that does give me the ability to just hold off on using the For the Throat, get the kill. I'm also going to hold off on using the Backstab here, giving me the ability to do it on, yeah, the Black Coach as soon as the Black Coach moves to start attacking. 41 incoming damage, so we'll hold the Dueling Bulk up the next turn, but that's about it. 30 incoming damage, I mean, that's a significant reduction right there. Give you absolutely as much bleed as we can afford to. I can hold. I don't have to speed up the rest of this fight. I should... There we go. I was about to say I should definitely be comfortable with the slower pace, and then the game met to... or rose to meet me on the occasion, you know? Alright. Puncture the absolutely loving hell out of the enemy. Bleed him out for the kill. Okay. 2 more upgrades. That Dueling Buckler really wants an upgrade. Either of these charge blocks is literally just +5 on its upgrade. That's significant. As for Void Stones, honestly, I would really like a Black Void Stone or 2, but where do I even put them right now? Puncture? God, it goes so good in Puncture, though. What are the odds that I get it before the end of the run? That Black Void Stone that's already gestating up there? I'm usually short of the 3,200 mark. How well can I utilize the other gems? Rage Gem? Not well at all. Like, yeah, it could go in Puncture. Yeah, it could go in Apprentice's Blade. It's insignificant compared to other sources of things we could do. Yellow. Goes back into For the Throat, probably. Blue. Just in any card I play more consistently. Yeah, like, everything else is actually kind of a whiff. I think it's got to be upgrade points and then defend. So it's literally just double charge block. Are we okay with that? Yep. Can't just defend with the Fractal Feather. We don't generate enough things fast enough. First card played each turn costs 2 less is really nice. Unfortunately, the Star Council over here is the one that holds the first card played will trigger an additional... first 2 cards played will trigger an additional time, which would give us the ability to play the hell out of our buffs. 3 weak, 3 vulnerable, 20% void damage taken. Let's release the souls. That's always going to end up happening. We're also always going to be going for the Blessing of Efficiency, so let's go do that. As much as I would love to try and cripple the enemies here, this is not ideal. They get buffed, and then they debuff us when we debuff them. Okay. It's holding onto these huge charge blocks here. incoming damage on turn 1. Okay. Let's go for a double up on those charge blocks. Get a bite out there for good fun as well. And double purge and then hold the apprentices. I think I do. Double purge here and hold the apprentice's blade, looking for a puncture. It's not a puncture. It's not a puncture either. If you lose HP, the Queen of Ages will remove all debuffs. Well, I can weaken you, and then I can make sure that I don't lose HP this turn. I like the idea of trying to hold Gutted, but it's going to be real harsh for us. Because we have a lot of defending to do next turn. We have very little defense left in that deck. There we go. That'll have to be the play. Getting value out of our fractal feathers and all. Okay. Start out by discarding the Void. I want to puncture Swift Hand and then start going again. Actually, I could puncture Apprentice's Blade, Swift Hand, juggle, drop the Void, and I'm not going to be able to play both of these perfectly, so I'll drop that. Okay. Dueling Buckler is a significant amount of defense. Now we have to focus on the Queen of Ages. Get 2 more blades. Hopped back to the hands. Perfect. Then we throw out a For the Throat. And finally, a From Shadow. Ending our defense this turn. We have 21 incoming damage for the next turn. And we have 3 cards in the deck, I believe, that say Bleed the Target. Cool. 1 kill. Star Council really seems ideal is the problem. Because the Void casts Fury and removes Weak and Vulnerable at 3 per turn. This only covers us for 1 turn. And we can cover ourselves that turn for weak with only 1 weak by using our ability. So this is really not valuable for us. The Void starting with 20% damage taken is theoretically possible. They become immune and then we can't even target them, right? Or rather, we can target them, but they cannot be dealt bleed. It's really hard to get good bleed on a target unless I have the ability to do that. Like, the only way I can do it outside of that is throw, like, a giant For the Throat on a target, and I can't do that as many times as I would need to kill a Star Council. I have to go for the Obsidian. And I don't expect to be challenged by the Obsidian. They all take, like, half as much damage to bleed, but that, with the way that our deck plays out, that really should give them basically 1 extra turn. Right? So it's half damage from bleed. Yeah. Let's definitely weaken you and get a combo out here, making the Dueling Buckler hold a little bit more viable. Still probably not going to be part of our play, but is it? No. We generate small amounts of defense like that by generating and playing a bunch of cards that have the same name. It's not a bad hand to try and Swift Hand here. Oh, God. Definitely drop those two over there. Then purge these, get the bind out, and then I just go for the main line. Setting up as much bleed as we can, as well as just straight up damage. Incoming damage that turn was quite high, however, we are also pretty capable of responding to that. Get a charged block out there. I'll throw a natural 22. Use a puncture even. And wrap up with a for the throat. So now the bleed on this target is well and truly in the amount where I can start just throwing bleed this target, bleed this target, bleed this target at them. Ooh, but we don't have to yet because we get a charged block out. And a bide. Apprentice's Blade gets us all the way back to the full part of the combo. I'm going to leave Backstab active here. And then almost invariably kill next turn. I'd also really like to leave this balanced, if at all possible at the end of the fight. I think I still have 2 cards left in the deck that just say bleed the target. No, do I not? Did I take out? I've only got 1 bleeded out in the deck. Maybe I need to change that. Drop that. Good gutting. All right, Void. Let's have one last look. Does anything want that green Void Stone? Yes. Something extra wants that green Void Stone. I put it in my opening hand 100% of the time, so look. It may as well make it official. That Light It Up kind of wants to go back in the deck, don't it? But it's really hard to compete against the Full Throats right now. They are actually our damage. That Bleed It Out would be nice, but it's, I don't think, necessarily nicer than anything I have in the deck at the moment. Alright. As for managing spell, draw 3 discards. Like, I think the weak access from Backstab is 100% necessary because I have no slow access in the deck at all. And this is also, like, it's like a hybrid slow-fast deck. I don't know what this deck is doing again. Ah. Why is it still working? Stop working. All right. As far as cards in the opening hand go, like, I really want to get my combo out as soon as I can. Okay. So, we have 20% damage taken. First card played each turn costs 2 less. So we should play a card that costs more than 2. Or at least 2, rather. I really want to try and get past that Void right now, actually. Let's do that. You attack for 2 turns, then you Fury, then you attack for 2 turns, right? So if I don't use Backstab this turn... Well, no, it only ever has to be active on one of your 2 turns for it to be at full effect, so I can use it next turn, it's still fine. Okay. Let's wrap with the world. Turns out we didn't get the Black Void Stone in time as well, so we should probably keep that in mind. There's natural 20 for 2 turns worth of vulnerability. We're about to put 1 turn's worth of vulnerability on the enemy, though. So whether or not I need that... Well, I mean, look, I need other stuff less. So let's get that, I guess. We'll bide into Apprentice's Blade. Get a good old-fashioned puncture out there. Fine, we'll make you vulnerable as well. Stack an absolute arseload of bleed on you, though. Okay. That Void would actually be a really good removal here, too. Gutted is nice. It's so much damage. Bleed it out. This one I probably wait a bit before I play that one. Let's go Void into Charged. Swift Hand doesn't really want to be played in this hand either. Or the Throat probably doesn't even really want to be played in this hand. Is it literally just gutted? Is that it? I think I gutted and then juggle, looking for a... Oh god, that is such a great setup for the next turn. Okay, then I hold. We do have extra energy coming in. Swift Hand goes off at the start of this turn. We don't need to defend this turn. Okay, Swift Hand goes off. Yes. We have the ability to generate 3 combo this turn, but I probably don't want to run just a big Fall to Blood into the enemy. I could totally do that, right? So we... Wait, hang on. Purge from Shadow. Use For the Throat for 40 bleed. It's super significant right now, right? We bleed you for 40. Then we Apprentices and Bide. Then we Puncture. We can totally do this. Apprentices, Bide, Purge, Puncture. Keep going. The excess damage we generate this turn, I think, is going to be so damn impactful. Now, it is worth noting, I am trading next turn's health for that. Bleed it out and Gutted should probably both stay in this hand. Same with the natural 20. Okay. Start out with From Shadow, because that's always playing. I'm going to purge both of the temporary hidden blades there. Okay. Make the enemy weak. Make them vulnerable. Draw and discard as many cards as we'd like. Look, I'll get rid of the hidden blades. And the charged block. And the For the Throat, because that's lethal. Not only did we manage to carry out... Like, this is when I started panicking. Right here. And then we went perfect, 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 perfect. This fight was... Speed modifier, we did it in 3 rounds, but the Beast of Malice did give us a bit of business on the turn 2, if I recall correctly. And then the Black Coach, that was not so bad, if I recall correctly, either. So at this point, something dire changed. And I'm a little bit concerned by the fact that I still don't know what it is. So I'm gonna have to go away and have a look at this episode after the episode and figure out exactly how I pulled this up along the line, because if I looked at that deck... Okay, hang on. In other deck builder roguelikes that I played in the past, in other roguelikes broadly that I played in the past, right? I'll be able to look at my build or deck, depending on the game, at the end of the run, and I'll be able to kind of identify, okay, so it worked because of these reasons. Or I'll be able to look at someone else's deck that they provided me, and I'll be able to see those kinds of things in action, how they might work over the course of the run, how they might come together in order to create a win. I couldn't see that here. And the reason that's something that I need to worry about is because knowing what contributed to a win in the deck is an indication of knowing how to approach each of these individual fights, as well as the kind of differential impact level of all of the kinds of like different kits, archetypes, cores, strategies, whatever you would like to call them, synergies that you can include into your run. Was that run all puncture? That's where I'm sitting at the moment. That's where I'm sitting at the moment. But for the moment, my name is Rhapsody, the name of the game is Involved the Void. Hopefully you've been enjoying yourselves. Show the playlist and scripting down below with all my content of the game, past, present, and future, and I hope you'll see you next time. Bye!